In December of 2024, Lego Fortnite Brick Life. Okay, let's not do the cliche stuff here. We do the same stuff over and over. Just play the music. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, let's do this. What's going on, guys? My name is Chris, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today, it's time for me to go over the top 10 things that I've been wanting in Lego Fortnite Brick Life for a while. If you're new here to the channel, I make a lot of Lego Fortnite videos. There's a lot of Brick Life. Brick Life being the main thing that my sacred rituals the algorithm actually throws out there. And good reason too, because I actually really enjoy making Brick Life content, and it's a lot of fun just to jump in and do random stuff in. And as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about my most wanted features to be added into Lego Fortnite Brick Life. And it's not really in any particular order, besides the last one is kind of the thing that I want the most. So with that being said, let's just jump right in. So for my first feature that I would like to be seeing added inside of Lego Fortnite, I would like to see custom buildings. And what I mean by this is currently inside of Brick Life, we can only use prefabs for our plots, and I hope one day we can actually make our own structures to something that we can do inside of Odyssey. As you know, there's a lot of pieces inside of Odyssey that we can use, and I think it'd be really cool if us as builders could be able to make our own houses or make our own builds and be able to just show what we can do inside of Brick Life. And I think that'd be such an amazing thing to allow us to create our own structures. And I know the reason why you can't do this most likely just server issues, not letting people like my crazy butt create stuff like this and this, as if there was a lot of this, it'd probably cause a lot of lag, obviously. And I think a good workaround around this would probably be adding a maximum complexity limit similar to Odyssey, or adding the fabled build limit from creative mode, which are always a builder's worst nightmare. But these would be a good way to allow us to be able to express ourselves, but also making sure there's not a lot of server issues. And overall, I think it'd be a lot of fun and give a lot of expression and creativity for all of us, and may motivate players to play Brick Life a lot more. Which brings us to our second and third things that I want to talk about here for today's video, which is... For my 2 and 3rd most wanted additions to Lego Fortnite Brick Life, I'm actually going to combine them together for this one segment, as I think they work together very well, which are new locations and minigames. Since Lego Fortnite Brick Life's launch, there has been a lot of locations that has actually been locked to key for whatever reason, such as the arcade, the secret agency, and honestly I've been waiting for the arcade for so freaking long. Honestly, the thing I would want the most this year is for some of these locations to be unlocked. And specifically the arcade, is there's a lot that you can do with it, and what I mean by that is you can actually make unique mini-games, where it's a new version of Snake, or Pong, or maybe if you feel risky and go after Donkey Kong, don't tell Nintendo about that one, or maybe some new location ideas as well, which is a theater. I would love to see the theater be reworked into something that allows you to make your own plots for stages, and make your own like performances, similar to what you can do on the festival stage over on the beach. But other ideas they can add, make more like interactivity and more unique locations inside Brick Life is an amusement mile / Wonky Land inspired area on the dock, where you can make a whole theme park or this little amusement ride area where you can add targets, you can add balloon animals, you can add all these different like things like roller coasters, Ferris wheels, and just add a lot of unique stuff to make it more interesting and add a lot more like interactivity with the world. And I think that'd be like encourage like playtime a lot throughout Brick Life and encourage people to stay on a bit longer, in my opinion. Just for me personally speaking. Yeah, I love that. Besides that though, another things I would love to see be added to Brick Life is obviously more mini games outside of the stuff I just mentioned. As currently in the game we only really have 2, which is the drift racing mini game that is, happens randomly, and of course the potion testing mini game, which is kind of the same that's held over on the university. It's more like hide and seek. And honestly, I would love to see more of this in the future, whether it's stuff for single-player experiences or maybe multiplayer experiences. An idea I have for that is actually a surfing minigame, which would be pretty cool. Just saying, that's an idea. Another thing I would definitely like to see more of in the future that kind of goes back to like biomes and areas I would like to see is definitely like biomes, as I just blurred that one out. Currently in the game we only have like a red grass area with a grass biome, then of course we got a snow biome, which I would love to see expanded snow biome, man. I just want to see that porky because I love that POI. But it would be cool if you had like a desert area one day, or maybe like a more like an area on the other side of that like tunnel that's currently inside of Brick Life that's like the lighthouse. I think that'd be cool. I'm actually gonna go back to that later in the video. But besides that though, another idea and the last thing I do want to mention for this little segment of this video is I would love to see a radio station be added inside of Brick Life that allows if whoever has the occupation to play their like jam tracks, and if you switch over to that radio station you can actually listen to it. That's just a random idea that I have, and I just think it'd be a really cool addition. But besides that, that's basically all my new ideas that I want to throw out there when it comes to new locations and just minigames as a whole, as I think there's a lot that can be done and make it a lot more of a funner experience inside of Lego Fortnite Brick Life. So for number 4 on my list, I do want to say this is probably one of the most important additions on this list, as I do hope that crafting recipes make it more clear in game. And you're probably wondering what I mean by this. So inside Lego Fortnite Brick Life, you do have a recipe booklet. However, these are only shown to you once you craft the recipes, which for newer players can be very, very aggravating, as sometimes it's not really made clear. And it's only really made clear if you're doing the jobs inside Lego Fortnite Brick Life. Once again, not everyone is doing every single job in game to unlock these recipes, so what I hope Epic does one day is either make it more clear on how to craft certain things, or just have everything just unlocked by the get-go. Just make it easier for players just to access things. If they want to craft something, they can craft it for a certain quest or certain challenge, and overall make it a lot more fun, in my opinion, because sometimes it can be very excruciating, especially if you're doing an event like the Simpsons event, and you have to look over on Reddit to find the recipes, as it can be very hard to see it in-game. I just hope things become way more clear in the future for Brick Life. Just something that I really want just to say real quick. And for number 5, I want to see more fun items. What I mean by this is that one of my favorite things inside of Brick Life is actually the unique playable items that get added. The dog potion or the snowman potion that got added recently. Like, there's a lot of fun little items that they add in Brick Life every once in a while, and I do hope they continue more of this in the future, where it's more like transformation potions. Maybe you can transform into Gerald, that freaking Lego Fortnite brute. Or just something more random like a speed potion, a jump potion. Maybe you can be able to bring the invisibility potion outside of the university. Or just other fun ideas they just throw out there. I just spit out some ideas right now. This is more of things that I would like to see add more inside of Lego Fortnite Brick Life in the future. And that brings us to number 6. Number 6 on my list is probably the one that I think is the most important, and honestly brings probably the most people into Brick Life when they do these, which are events. Last year, Lego Fortnite have been doing a lot more events inside of Brick Life. First was Star Wars, then it was the Bessie Fest, then it was the Simpsons. And honestly, I think these are amazing additions, and they keep on improving upon themselves every single time they add these events. However, if they add more events in the future, which most likely there probably are, there's a few things that I would like to mention. First, please, for the love of everything, make sure there's no game-breaking glitches. I am someone who loves glitches inside Lego Fortnite. They make some of my favorite moments playing the game. However, during the Simpsons event, there was one issue in particular that messed with the whole flow of the event, in my opinion, which was the fact that the whole Lego kit to get the Simpsons quests were glitched out, and honestly a lot of people in my comments were freaking out, and reasonably so. There wasn't really a clear explanation for this, as everything wasn't really working properly. So I hope for like future events they do make sure everything is ready to go beforehand. I know that was probably just a one-time thing, but it's something I do want to bring up here, as you got to make sure of everything before jumping through. Which also brings us to the next thing I want to talk about, which is add more than tasks. Oh my god. So one of my most kind of nitpicks when it comes to the almighty events is definitely the fact once you get done with the story quests, they just let you like do tasks until you level up to the next event. I'm sorry, I need more than just the same repetitive tasks over and over again. I'm starting to lose my mind. And I hope for future events that Epic adds more interesting ways to level up instead of just doing task board stuff, please. I think it'd be more interesting to add like unique minigame ideas, or have me go on like fetch quests, or something more interesting, just doing the same quests over and over again. But that's just my own little personal nitpick when it comes to it. But overall, I would love to see more events in the future, whether it's for the current Ninjago season or whatever updates have for the future Lego Fortnite. I would definitely love seeing more of them, as overall they're just a lot of fun, and those are really only 2 little nitpicks that I just want to throw out there. But that kind of brings us to number 7. So, for number 7 is one I consider to be very, very important, and is my own personal thing that I hope to be added to Brick Life one day, is adding both functionality of Brick Life and Decor inside of Odyssey. This has been one of my largest nitpicks since Lego Fortnite Brick Life launched, and since they've been adding exclusive decor to this lovely game mode, is the fact that you cannot bring it over to Odyssey. As someone who builds a lot in Odyssey, and the fact I'm currently actually making a very long video that's going to be releasing in 1 to 2 weeks, is the fact that you cannot use any of this inside of Odyssey. And it drains me. So for someone like me who jumps on Brick Life maybe a few times a month, it becomes very like excruciating, because you cannot use the decor bits at all, and it doesn't really encourage you to actually go grind for these decor as you can only use it in one mode, where if you use stuff in Odyssey, you can bring it over to Brick Life. I don't know why it's like one way instead of the other, but it's always the one thing that bugged me about the mode, and just something that I really want to bring up here, and hope that gets added into the future, as it definitely would encourage me and possibly other players to grind for this exclusive decor inside of Brick Life, and be able, especially if we use it inside of our builds and creations inside of Lego Fortnite Odyssey. Now, for number 8, I don't want to bring up this here, as I would love to see more customizable like vehicle options in the future, as currently you only have like a few vehicle options. It's the surfboard, the van, the almighty car, and then of course the driver truck, the food truck. We do have currently like multiple variations of these cars inside the game mode, but I would definitely like to see more options in the future. Maybe like there's a lease going on that maybe we'll be able to use our own like cars in our locker, so maybe that's what they're working on currently for Lego Fortnite. So I can't wait to drive my freaking DeLorean or Batmobile around Brick Bay. That's gonna be fun. But overall, I would love to see more vehicle customization in the future, and just more options as well, whether it's like a boat or helicopter, or even just like random stuff as Lego Fortnite Brick Life continues to expand. I think that would be really, really epic. For number 9, I feel like this is just my own little thing, and I've always loved this idea ever since my brother mentioned it to me, is Mannequins. Make it very similar to like both the almighty locker device and the mannequin device inside of creative mode, but have it where you can make these statues that are using your own skins from your locker. I think that would be a really cool epic addition. Post for you to flex your skins, maybe to help you creations. Maybe if you want to make an Iron Man Hall of Armor, you can add like a bat cave with a whole bat suit display, or maybe you just want to add like just show a bunch of your skins inside your home. I think that'd be a really cool addition, and I always love this idea ever since my brother mentioned it to me, and I just want to throw it in here for number 9. Now, for number 10, it's probably the idea. If you've watched any of my Brick Life videos, you've probably seen me blabbering about it a lot when I mentioned about things that I really want to see in the game, which is a Jailbreak-like mode. I'm a huge fan of Jailbreak, especially in Roblox, and I would really love to see Epic's own take on the whole experience inside of Lego Fortnite Brick Life. And I know what you're thinking, how in the world will they pull it off? Well, I have a few ideas. First things first, you could just like get rid of the tunnel, like the blocks blocking it, and let us go through it, and on the other side of the tunnel by the lighthouse, you can have this whole new city area, and that's where the whole Jailbreak mode takes place. And you have it where you have superheroes versus villains, and you allow it like this whole chaos on the side of the map. And if you don't want to deal with this chaos, you just go to the normal Brick Bay area. It's on the left side of the map, and then the right side of the map is the whole Jailbreak mode experience. I think that'd be a good way of handling it, and there's a lot of cool ideas that you can do. You can add like obviously the generic stuff you can do with Jailbreak-like modes, where you can be able to rob gas stations, restaurant stores, and just all that different type of jazz. You can add like also these superheroes and give them the abilities from like a Jago, maybe stuff from Expeditions, and all that different stuff, and make it like a fun little play experience for players. I would personally love the heck out of this. I genuinely think I would play Brick Life a lot more than I already do if he added this, because hey, it would be so freaking cool in my opinion. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, as that's everything that I really wanted to share for today's video. And yeah, I do have a ton of ideas for what I want to see be added to Brick Life, but these are largely the main 10 that I wanted to mention for today's video. And let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, as I would definitely be interested to hear what you guys want to see added to the game mode. But with that being said, I do hope you guys did enjoy this video, and if you did, definitely consider leaving a like, as it does help the channel a lot. And if you're new here and you like what you're seeing before, or you like my lovely voice, then definitely consider subscribing, as I make more Lego Fortnite content just like this. With that being said, I hope you all have a spectacular day, and I'll see you next time. Peace out, everyone.